Welcome everybody to Mudflood was Armageddon. The Mudflood was the Armageddon. Don't let them tell you anything else unless they're willing to debate you in a fair and honest way. I didn't write anything down, so and my mind was on this future project right when it said showtime. And I saw Math Powerland. Zach, is that you? Who is that? Who is that? I've seen that around. I've been around. Flat Earth Nation, Mudflood was Armageddon. There's this thing I need to show. It's the thing about fair use. And I'm not a doctor, but you should listen to me. I feel like I am the end time prophet bringing the world up to speed on how to read Revelation 20. And because I was Flat Earth Nation Golden Age past before I was Mudflood was Armageddon, yeah, I started this. The Lord used me, and I'll never change my story on that. Look what we want to go over here. Did you see the thumbnail? We'll be pronouncing that Cezanne Island, abandoned military island. Look at all the tunnels. Look at, what does that say? 1918. Huh. That's the thumbnail up close. So it was a steam-powered military base. Oh, I got to show you. Here, this is what Jared Kushner wants to build on that island. He bought the whole island. He bought the whole abandoned island. They got trees growing on it to keep it cool. You can rent it and go out there on the porch and drink adrenochrome. If I feel sometimes, from what I've heard, they are so inclined, but he's got, this is his too. He bought and Ivanka Trump. It was Ivanka Trump, not Donald Trump. Did I say the wrong Trump? But that's where they used to spin the cannons, is what they say. Here's something else. That's for the landlubbers. I just said that because I was thinking about the people who live by the ocean. Sometimes they're the landlubbers, Lubbers, and then the people that come to town are the salty dogs, or whatever, jarheads. They're people like Marines that they're either sailors or Marines, and they come on the ships when they bring the royals. So this is all Kushner's, and Kushner is Trumpenstein's daughter. Oh, it was an ancient submarine thing too. It had a fort on the top and a submarine base in the middle. We know what that means. All submarines are fake. That's the entrance to it right there. This is all Jared Kushner's now. He bought it. There is the island. It says 1571. It has a fortified building. It doesn't have the port built yet, but it did have a fortified building. So I'm thinking this one went away in Noah's flood. After Armageddon, they built underground tunnels, and they needed to get their fancy submarines back in what they call the Middle Ages. I rolled my eyes when I said, when they call it the Middle Ages. So in December 2024, after months of consternation was caused, but Albania finally gave preliminary approval for a plan proposed by Kushner to build on the uninhabited island of Sazan, once a secretive military base for submarines. The planned, why do they have a bracket there? Oh, there's the bracket ending. I couldn't see the bracket ending. For some reason, I had dyslexia. I thought that was an S. Developments on the Vernick Peninsula would include 6,000 motel rooms. I showed those to you. They're round and they have grass on the roof and a very tiny patio. They want it to come to fruition. Oh, that's from yesterday. Ooh, that one got some traction because it kind of proved how bad we are. You know, we're the bad guys. Not as bad as some of the people, but it's humans that are the bad guys. Did you know that? It's not the Nephilim. Well, how you doing? Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21. You know, if I could, I'd just pop that up, but let me just pull it up. And it will test my memory because I'm thinking, did you say First Thessalonians? Isn't that the only one? That's in the New Testament, right? So why am I clicked the wrong button. So this is the one with the 6 chapters. So, it has, well, I do it, the other one has 3, I believe. So we want to look at verse 12. No, 21. I was trying to act like I was having dyslexia again. Don't despise the prophecies, but test everything, especially the spirits. Hold fast to what is good. Good segue and a good chance for me to remind you that, of course, I've never had these crazy experiences like I saw a little dwarf spirit when I took a mushroom or a LSD or a MDA or whatever it is, I probably took it. And I never had a bad experience, never went to a party or a rave or a club, you know, to do it. I'm the Vision Quest. I've all, you know, since I've been knee high to a tadpole, I've been all about Jesus, except for a couple of brief years there that I'm still repenting of. And when I was like, look at the high school wrestling star. Yeah, at 155 pounds, not 185 like those guys. So, yay, you're a good wrestler for your size. Something like that. That's the way life is. And then you lose your hair, and all of a sudden, everybody in your school says, hey, you'll never be Tarzan like we thought. I'm glad I never thought that. Well, anyway, it is I've got something pulled up. This isn't that island. Where's that island at?
There's any more tunnels.
Here's another one. It's like,
that's a very tiny tunnel, isn't it?
where are you going?
Here whatsoever.
What are you doing? You better duck. You should be wearing one of those helmets. Helmets. Okay, did we miss the one part where he saw the light?
What's this about then?
He goes, what's this about then? He must be from one of those countries where they talk like that. Hey, cool. That is so cool. That's not meltology. That's the glittering sword of Barak, which is lightning sword, is what they call it when it carves up the earth and God rode on his chariot. It sounds like he was doing donuts, cutting cookies, and then all the islands get washed away, a third of them, and then mountains and things go made low. all the rivers don't flow to the sea anymore. So that was the Armageddon. And here's those things on that second map I showed you. Did I get to that one? I think that'd be worth interrupting because, or at least maybe doing a double check on it. Where's the other map? I thought I had two maps, one from 1571. Maybe it's still on the website for Wikipedia because they had a few more pictures, and I thought I got it. But this is on the map from 1665, some suspicious year like that. Go, dude. He finds another one that's even more cool. Look how he finds it. It's cool. She's a light.
There's another tunnel in the end. What's this about then? Look at that view. I really didn't expect to find this here. Looking over the Dover port.
Dover.
Flipping out. That's nice, isn't it? And we are quite high. Must be at least 100 feet. I'm just wondering.
Red Dover, send rover pronto over. Another one? This is the one that was cooler.
Oh.
See, because it has a whole, it has a place you could just go out there and stand. This is the body part of a Titan. It didn't get melted like the outside. You can still see the, whatever this is. They're so big, the big ones. But this is, I mean, this, for all you know, this could be his nasal cavity. We don't know. We're just guessing. Find another one, but that's the coolest one. Oh, no, go to show you the entrance. And there's like 5 or 6 of these spiral staircases. Did you see the spiral staircase? Look at that. We saw it. We saw the thing. Hey, he's inside the Titan right now.
Wow, can you see the graffitis over here?
I basically had hair like that till I was about 32, 33, and then it just started receding.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to
Well, we'll find out.
Yes, I'm finally back after taking a short break.
Yeah.
And
show the thing. Where'd you get? Where are you? Dover?
now let's explore it.
Dude. Oh,
This was probably.
it's already open.
Over here. Yeah, definitely.
He finds graffiti.
It's counterweight just there.
This is not Sazin Island that the Kushner just bought. The main idea is to kind of, break it to you. These things build and build all my life and everything with the, Go Underground, the movies about Go Underground. I wrote a book in 2008 about they went underground and tried to save a certain group. It's a common memory because it builds slowly. It builds slowly. The Lord says he warns and he gives plenty of time, and then it happens suddenly. But it really, the Bible is way above us, and we're not going to use, antique terms or whatever, but we know it's above us. It's plain language, but it's got a lot of complexity to it, the Bible. He says these fireplaces are expensive, that we should look for them, and if we find any, save them.
Because this fireplace has a lot of money value.
Well, that means practical value. Somebody can use it to cook and stay warm, and I'm thinking, that's a good idea.
Someone
Is that the bakery?
And it's reasonably clean inside.
Yeah.
It's about 30 degrees outside today.
I don't know.
It's very
I would
nice
use
and
it
chilly over here.
to bake
I
the
like
bread.
it.
Hey, I
should go.
only saw until the
Walk down this-
windows part, and I never got to see where he found the big steam machine. I'm scanning the video right now, hoping to see it. I must have missed it, because I do jump around. They found an old safe. No, that's the old door and the new door. So, where is that safe? The steam powered engine, the big one. No, I really felt that it was going well, and then all of a sudden I had to go and be like, where's that thing at? Why are we looking at this instead? More of the spiral staircase. Everything is a star fort. It reminds me of how many times do we think about star forts? Enough? These cop things are really interesting.
And how one cyclist obstructs traffic. If a tanker can still get by, because it did. It caught my attention because of what we're examining today. It was a huge truck. I invite you to go back and watch the video if you doubt what I'm saying. So somehow traffic is not obstructed by.
This Sergeant Brian Terranel, he totally just was messing with this dude for no apparent reason. Took it all the way to a judge and, wouldn't answer questions. And he was right. The guy obstructed justice. He knows the law. He should have had to show me his ID. And then she's just throwing it out, saying, look, she's sick of it. And even at the very end, he's just crossing his arms and, acting like, I didn't do nothing. I don't understand your question. Have we already answered that? For somehow, I ended up looking at Rodney. And I know I wanted to talk about Jared Kushner, but I wanted it to be more off the, because I plan on reading the book. I have a busy day. I have to fix my mini bike. So this was that one. I saw another one, cop get suspended. The more people tell him, you can't show me your ID. And it's been 2 or 3 years now. This has been going on. They keep saying, you got to have an ID. 10 people show up.
I can't believe that.
He just goes in,
I have,
and it's legal. You could go in and film yourself in a public building for a public transaction for the same reason cops have body cams, to prove what's been said. And you may be getting tired of it. I'm not. These guys, why are they wearing masks and things?
Business, what are you trying to do?
I'm doing a Freedom of Information request, which is a law,
Okay,
and I'm also gathering content for a story.
okay. Well, right now, we were called here by the people who work in this office building.
Okay.
They are concerned for their safety and their well-being, that there is somebody in here. They've asked you to step out and to leave and to stop video.
They did
recording
not.
here.
I have it on camera. They did not ask me to leave.
Okay, well, that's what they're relaying to us.
Okay,
So
it's a
that
lie.
is why we are here right now. I'm not going to dispute truth or fact right now. I'm going to tell you that is why we're here right now. We are going to.
Okay, Sergeant, with your hands on your hip. Ooh.
I don't want to assist you in your investigation into me for whatever reason. Do you have a crime that you suspect me of committing? Do you have reasonable, articulable suspicion?
On an investigation of a complaint, yes.
Do you have reasonable, articulable suspicion I've committed a crime?
We're not saying that you committed a crime. We are here to investigate a complaint right now.
So if you have,
So this is our world. And you have to tell them, you cannot use the Constitution that you swore on for toilet paper. They have the right to film you. You don't have the right. You have the right to cover your face like that. You still have to give your badge numbers and things. But they do the walk of shame. Eventually they call it in and,
completely,
it's like, see you later.
Step over there. You can stay
Excuse
right
me?
here, though. You are
am I being detained?
You are being asked to stay here for our investigation.
Am I being detained?
You are temporarily being detained as
Okay.
as we commit our investigation.
Unlawful detainment.
Been called how you.
It is an almost, you have to learn the law. If you're going to uphold the law, you took an oath to the Constitution. Freedom of press is part of the Constitution. You have to, if you're going to uphold it, you have to learn it. This is an illegal detainment. You can't detain me unless you suspect that I'm committing a crime. This is all things you should have learned in the academy. And as a supervisor, I think that's, you should really know. You cannot detain somebody legally without you having suspected me of committing a crime. This is ridiculous. Thank you. Can I get your name, sir? Can I get your Lieutenant Dolan? Thank you, Lieutenant. You guys are dismissed. Please don't detain me unlawfully anymore.
No one's detaining you.
No. No.
If he's not doing anything illegal or dangerous or disruptive,
Exactly.
that's fine with me.
It's my right to be in this building.
As long as he
This is a taxpayer's
follows the
building.
rules, then.
This is the taxpayer's building.
But thank you very much.
And by the way, she did detain me. Just so you know. Just so you know, it's on camera. She did
Okay,
detain me.
well, I'm not gonna
So that's an
debate.
unlawful detainment.
I'm not gonna do anything illegal. but
Okay.
that's what it is.
Great. Take care, guys. This is the biggest walk of shame I've ever seen.
The thing is, that does not going to happen. A lot of time you might have to be willing to get beat up, or you could avoid it. That's why I put run away in the description. I was looking at that was in my history. I was looking for the one about Rodney, damnable heresies, not good. Walmart one, pretty good. About to get crazy. That sounds interesting. I didn't watch that. I watched it for 2 seconds. He finds old bottles. It's showing things I didn't click on. I just hovered over it to see the very beginning. Really, that was too much. I have this one pulled up. Another cop gets fired. Pretty good review of the Da Vinci Code, but this type of class, the Epstein class, I've shown it's slowly building. And as we're going to look at that one,
there's some big.
I'll remind you, it's those guys. If you're still voting for any reason, like, well, I couldn't vote for Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. You shouldn't be voting for anyone. They all have to be in on it together. It's a very, very wide road. The Bible explicitly teaches you have to be careful of the so-called Christians. They are to be tested. He's gone through many tests and come through faithful. Trials, tribulation. In this life, you must suffer tribulation and persecution. This is not the easy way. There is no simple gospel. There is a long, hard, complicated book that leads us to think we should be striving every day, really crucifying ourselves, really looking to be that generation that can finally beat their swords into plowshares and realize we don't want to fight the robot dogs. We don't want to draw a line in the sand for Richie or Boston or whoever that big Owen, the piano player guy, come and live in our compound. We're going to fight them off. No, try to find someone like me and say, we're going to hide. They will not know where they are. If we see they're getting close, we've got another place to move to. That's how you live until 2046. Because Mudflood was Armageddon is not a joke. It is a thing. Now, where is that video about?
We're talking today about food prices, because that affects you. And what's going on over in Asia.
And everybody knows about the food prices.
Relationship with Epstein. Stay tuned, it gets better. Her little statement there set the political set abuzz with commentators, including yours truly, wondering exactly why she chose that moment to say what she did. Furthermore, her claims in that statement were demonstrably false. Emails reveal a warm relationship between Melania and Ghislaine Maxwell, and numerous pictures of her and Epstein exist. Some postulated that a big revelation was coming from within the Epstein files, while others speculated that Melania's statement may have had something to do with ongoing legal woes with Trump biographer Michael Wolff. But there's something else that went overlooked. Jeffrey Epstein was known to boast that he introduced Melania to Trump on his jet, a claim denied by Trump's friend and former modeling agent Paolo Zampoli, who Trump happened to appoint United States Special Representative.
These are the sex hound dogs that are always in charge. He straight up calls her a prostitute.
Supposedly, asking a favor to be in the power with the titles, and then Melania cover you, and you cover Melania. Let's be honestly, nobody's a fucking stupid here. And I know because I was with you 20 years and you.
You know, it's not like the Democrats aren't scandalous also. They had the Obamas, and in case you didn't know, I'm looking for a thing that says 2 ghost towns. Oh, this is the guy. Rodney. The river changed its course, but they had a church
around the church.
You get the idea, Rodney.
Some towns are built around one thing, and when that one thing fails, the ending is swift and decisive. Other towns don't have that single point of failure. They're able to survive wars, disease, economic collapse until there's just nothing left to recover from. And today, I'm in Mississippi exploring 2 ghost towns that are only a few miles from each other, but suffer very different fates. One lost everything all at once. The other lost everything over time.
This is the guy that bought a ghost town. So look, here's what happened. Right? There was a river, and the guys just got off the boat and went to church. They got captured. But the sandbar on Rodney cut off. Famous picture. Right out the front door, sitting. That is a cannonball. They captured the Union soldiers who wanted to go worship there. So they realized, they said, you do realize those guys came off a steamer battleship, and we're ready to go if you guys don't want to give our guys back. And they basically said, we're just kidding. Here, take them. Get them on out of here. Like every other thing, fix it up right now and it'd be better than most buildings. Rodney, it used to be on the Mississippi River, the muddy Mississippi. James Stewart, the famous actor, was born there on June 22nd, 1822. No, I don't think that's really his. But somebody was there, and they had obelisks that seems like age appropriate, doesn't it? So something happened. And I think it happened right before the Civil War. I looked up the submarine base. Yep, it was a submarine base. They didn't show a lot of pictures of it, but that's where I got this one, you know. So Kushner bought it. They're, you know, are they or are they not buying islands? Doesn't mean it's going to happen this week or before the midterm election, but eventually, you know, plasma event, you know, the Camp of the Saints are going to get, you know, rescued by fire, but that kind of means we go up with the fire straight to the great white throne. We're at the end. I think there's 35 years. That's why people need to develop the patience. You know, there is this, did I show the web page for this place? Maybe there's a better map. See, here's that 1688. I thought it was 1665. I remember I said it wrong. Hey, they're not spelled it with a Z. Man, I had to cough there. Man, I hope I went back to share the screen. I did not. Look at me knocking myself in the head. Thank you. So here's the map I was just talking about, and I paused it, coughed. 1688. This is that island that Jared Kushner, see, 1571. See, when people watch this, the 100 or so people that watch this later, they'll see that, you know, I got it, and they'll jump ahead. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Maybe this is his way of saying, you know, if you're gifted to be called and discover these things and vision quest the Lord, it doesn't mean all of a sudden, you know, you're not the scatterbrain professor or something like that. But it's hard. I see it happen to a lot of people. You leave the camera on. See the difference in the picture? Now, and then there was another one. See how they have the map? That's what I kind of looked for earlier. And I did, while I was talking, show some of these pictures of the actual. This is the island that Kushner bought. It has an old submarine. That's that harbor. That would be what they call, you know, how it meets together there. The entrance. So there, you know, I think that's pretty much you. So you didn't get to see anything about Rodney? I don't know how far to go back, but there's the cannonball hole. This town got, the river changed. And then there was the Civil War, and then World War I, and here we are, orphan trained brain, living in a town that has, it seems like, Rosicrucian type and friends with the Rome, Jesuit institutions everywhere, although the United States let them be banned from golf clubs until the 1950s. So here's another, here's like a more famous, the Laurent. This is a submarine base. Well, that's not the one I wanted to show you. Let's look at that Wikipedia page. So maybe somebody, who else is going to buy this? Jared Kushner bought the other one, so they're not going to get into it. But look at the size of those. That could be concrete, but it's the Roman concrete. It's been lasting way too long. Let's see if there are any more where it says submarine bases. See also. The Germans, I guess they moved it up to Antarctica. Look at that fast looking sailboat. Everything is all underground. So there you get some sort of an idea. And it, more than likely, if there's a mountain within a, you know, a little bit, it can, they're underneath it. There's a hospital underneath it. It's all a lie. The atomic weapons, the hoax. It's the mafia's extracting it, money, our lives, you know, trying to obstruct the gospel because they worship the devil. These guys, Henry Ford agreed with the Nazis until the United States government told them, stop it, you can't agree with them anymore. We're fighting them now. Yeah, but we taught the Nazis eugenics. Everything leads back to Colorado. And then here's where they fake it. It's so fake. I've been to all these sites.
These large
Body
fossils
the
that
titan.
they were finding really represented, were they natural rock formations? Were they evidence of biblical giants in the earth?
But the first dinosaur fossil.
Look, they know. So they gave you all the options to throw it out because it had to be this way. If you go to school now, there's a globe on the desk. You're going to learn evolution. Oscar Wilde, Edgar Allan Poe. Gay people are the only people that can write. We'll worship them. Frankenstein wasn't written by her husband, her bigamist husband, who impregnated her when she was 15 while he was deserting his first 15-year-old wife. And then he deserted them all because he was gay. All our history are these gay people because we live in Satan's short season. And something changed. We don't see statues of people really like you and me. We see some, they call them the Vikings if they're the big, but most of us aren't. They put out a new breed of people. The pictures we see of the George Washingtons and everybody else, they're all rousing, stout young people. I believe that the reset after the reaping, because the population was exterminated. That's what people that still go for Atlantis and the other jokesters like Jason Jacks, they don't realize Armageddon was for all countries. It wasn't Jerusalem against the Jews and everybody else went about their business. And then Josephus got a job working for Rome. It was boom, it's over. You lived if you were in the mountains. That's it. And after 1,000 years, put in your sickle and reap, separate the wheat from, it's mostly tares by then. And then they released a new group of people, staggering fugitives, for the short season that I think started out really good. They could go beat mountain men. When you could read about some of the accomplishments they did, going up mountains in the winter just to check the alignments of the stars. And then eventually, not through eugenics, but just from the wearing down as you get further and further away. And what else do we know? All of a sudden, hemophilia. Hemophilia enters right around the time of, when I say it's either 1666 in the Julian calendar or 1711 in the Gregorian calendar, Satan's loose, and all of a sudden these guys, Henry VIII, going like, I'm fine, but now all my offspring has hemophilia. Well, hemophilia skips a generation. That's why before Henry VIII got fat, he was a stud. He could jump on his horse with the full armor. So there were a different breed of people. And right now, we could be like that. I know I am barely 2 meters and only weigh 155 pounds, but I'm a handful because I've trained and I used to have to go up and my coach would say, I think you can beat this 185 pounder. So you're wrestling him and that way he can get points for your guy and we'll win. I'd be like, okay, whatever. I had just won a tournament, and I thought, sure, no problem. And it was pretty easy because I think he was scared. Wasn't this guy nuts? And plus my dad was there and I didn't like to lose in front of him. But anyway, Colorado is always going to be a big part of it. And it's always such a lie. I have a video pulled up, probably, the biggest jokes is the dinosaurs. That's what started this rant. I should go like this, check to see it's still online.
Gets published was drawn by an artist, and it was the lower end of a femur, a thigh bone, and you had that knee articulation.
And so from that, they were able to draw pictures and go like, wow, that's exactly what I'm finding in the mountains. Look at is that Mercury, the god?
These two big humps on it. And it was described as the scrotum of a giant because they had no idea.
Because it looked exactly like the scrotum of a giant. I've shown them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is sometime I would love to have somebody come here and, you know, like with somebody like Sergio, even if you're going to visit and then say, no, I don't going to trust you anymore, Paco, because you won't read only the Septuagint. I'll never read the Septuagint. But he could have taken a video and gone around and said, why are all of these rocks cut up and, you know, flat on one side? Because I'm cutting with stones, I'm polishing it, I'm proving it. My next big reveal is going to be that these rocks that it has, it looks like a corpus calestrum, doesn't it? That's what I'm working on today when I'm done with this, because I have to wait on the Amazon to get my new tube here because I got a flat tire on my little dirt bike. It's a flatter nation. The golden age is past. It might not be today, but this could be your day to where you could be called, chosen, predestined, elect to be adopted into the family of God. It'll seem like you're making your own decision. And you'll be either on your knees or, you know, symbolically on your knees, believing that Jesus Christ rose from the dead, that Jesus Christ is the word, the vibration. He's called in Isaiah the everlasting Father. He is the incarnation of the one Spirit God. And you believe he rose from the dead. That's the deal killer. You have to believe that. It's taught in the Bible. But you do? And now you must confess it with your mouth if you believe it in your heart. Like Jesus Christ is Lord. Hi, Mom. Guess what? I've been called, chosen, predestined, and elected, and then adopted into the family of God. I am ready to go forth and suffer in his name because I know everything beyond my wildest hopes and dreams that I could imagine is better because this world is not my real home. No, Mom, no. Many are called, but few are chosen, called, elect, predestined, adopted. It seemed like my own decision because I did believe in my heart and I love him. Thank him for dying for my sins by raising from the dead. I guess we'll be metamorphosed. It's a mystery. It's a great mysterion where if God opens your eyes and your ears, you hear the truth. And if he does not, you hear clicks and buzzes. And no matter what they say, it ends like this. He or she is one of them. Put them down. Unless you're going to be hiding with me or someone like me. Amen. Hallelujah. Aho. Aloha. Arrivederci. Ciao. Sayonara. Auf Wiedersehen. Nakaman. Adios, amigos, from the border of southern Colorado and New Mexico. Someone likes to say goodbye like that.